Hey, Genki Call here. Happy St. Patrick's, everyone who is Irish or want to be Irish for the day. If you're going to be drinking, please don't drive. There's your mommy input for the day. Anyway, we are here for Raid Boss. If you go into the shop and you purchase up to the 3rd tier, you'll get the new Splody weapon, my favorite. Love these weapons. Explode red gems, grant a random status effect, summons. Yay, we love that. It will burn the first enemy and get a little damage to all enemies when just a point or two to each enemy to break barriers when you cast. And it uses brown and yellow. So, also, when you are purchasing tiers in here, you do have a chance to get some mythics, the ones from Broken Spire, and those are Amarok and Igneous. Is that all? Let me see. Base rarity. Yep, Amarok and Igneous are available as a drop from the shop. You won't be able to get Magma Dragon or anything from Fire Rift, but anything else you see here is fair game, and you could get it with your purchase. Good luck to you. Anyway, I have a bunch of teams here, a bunch of different types of approaches to doing this raid boss event. Early on, it's going to be fastest to use something that doesn't have the the Godslayer, the Igneous. Igneous is the one that's going to get you those 3 to 5 times damage. If you have any questions on how that works, there will be a video that pops up in the last 15 seconds of this video that shows how Raid Boss works and the Godslayers, which is here. Anyway, so let's get in here. I'll show you what I've got for you, starting with this one. Now this, as I said, only for the early levels. Black Manacles is something that you get for free just for getting your mana mastery up. It does have a chance to devour, but it cannot devour the raid boss Zuul'Goth. Raid boss Zuul'Goth cannot be touched by any status effects, none whatsoever. So keep that in mind. You can't curse him or stun it away. It's there and you won't be able to touch him. So with status effects. Anyway, for early levels, this will be nice and fast. This is one of the teams I made for people with no legendaries. And did a few battles right off the bat. There is that devour. So, Black Manacles. I have to take that because I must. Then we've got Terraxis that does damage to all enemies. We've got Luther to help you survive. Now, it's going to give attack to all allies. Beautiful. It's going to barrier the first ally. Also wonderful. The problem is that Zuul'Goth will kill through barriers. You can't protect yourself from Zuul'Goth. If he casts on you, you are dead. At least in this event. There are 2 troops. I did not mean to do that. There are 2 troops that players can own that cannot be insta-killed, but those are Enraged Kurandara and Leonis Tower, which you cannot use in this event. Anyway, everything else that players can own are right to insta-kill. I think that's what I was saying. I'm losing my mind. I'm sorry. Last one here is Stone Giant. He's going to get all of those brown gems for your Black Manacles and Luther. Destroy them as if they were matched, then do damage to a random enemy. This is just one option. This is for people that are worried about dying because Luther's going to be super helpful with that barrier. Next up, for people with no legendaries, we have this one. Now, for the early levels, I recommend just using 2 Igneous. Mountain Crusher, because I know that you have this. You just need to get your brown mana mastery up. And then Ogress is a fantastic mana generator, but she's going to pull herself to the front of the team as soon as she casts. It doesn't, she does have that 50% skull damage reduction. I am using, unless it's mentioned in the description down below, all of these teams are using Elementalist just because it's safe and will help you survive. Except that those status effects won't affect Zuul'Goth, of course. Anyway, Ogress is at the bottom here just for fast mana. Elementalist does not have a 50% mana start. You can always use Titan class instead, or even Geomancer. Anything that has Rock Solid is going to help you. Um, but look, I've already got her filled up, so I might as well. And if you are going the double Terraxis route, be sure that you be sure that you my brain. Double Terraxis. Right, make sure both are filled before you cast the first time. So we'll do that. Insta-kill with Igneous because of that 3 to 5 times damage. I'm at Mythic level. That gives me the 5 times damage. And we'll do this. We'll do this. And we got a summons. Meh. Alright, we're just going to do Mountain Crusher just because. And just do Igneous for the finisher. Alright, next up, grabbing the next team. Copy. And here we go. I'm hitting wrong buttons. I'm so sorry. Here we go. Continue. Edit. Manage. Paste. Ta-da! This is one option. This is a heavily red team. Summer's Fury is another weapon that people will get for free for getting the red mana mastery up. So this is a free weapon. It creates red gems and does damage to all enemies. That'll make it nice and fast for the early levels. Then we have Pyggra for explosions. Again, this is for early levels only. This is not going to work later on. You will need Igneous later on. But this also creates red gems and then explodes a bunch of red gems. You also have a chance for summons. But Pyggra is a good mana generator, except for the amount of mana that it needs. But still, we're going to have so much red mana from Magma Dragon's Lava Storm. Red and brown, that's what he does. You blow things up and you get a ton of that falling down. And he does damage to all enemies. Flame Troll is just going to double the number of red gems on the board and create 3 more. So you are going to be flooded with red gems with this team. Now, you can use, because you're using Magma Dragon, it's going to create these burning gems. You could use Slayer class or Warlord or any class that has Fireblade since you have your hero up front. Just throwing that out there because Fireblade, that triple skull damage is fantastic. And that will not work on Zuul'Goth because you cannot burn him, but the rest of them you can. Anyway, this is one of those teams for fast early levels and not recommended for later on. Let's see. Yeah, we'll take the red. That's fine. And I would like to take that, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go ahead and I was hoping for a match 4 out of that and didn't get it. So, come on. Gosh, I guess we'll just do this again. Now I also have a version of this team that does use Igneous. Manage, paste. So just a little bit different. Still Summer's Fury and Pyggra, but we have replaced the Flame Troll with Igneous and put it in front of the Magma Dragon and changed the banner. Again, this is using Elementalist, so a bit of a slower start. And no Fireblade with this team, but let's see, get that. Nice, I love a good cascade. I love those cascades. So Igneous, we're going to go ahead. You always want to target Zuul'Goth with Igneous. Absolutely target him. He also transforms all red gems to brown so that you can loop with this guy. Not good for a heavily red team like this, perhaps, but with all of the brown and red that we're getting from Magma Dragon, I think it'll be fine. But as you saw, nice and fast. Igneous is really important to get that extra damage on Zuul'Goth, so you're going to want to have him later on. It's just the early levels you don't want him for because it's not very fast. Next up, we have Whump. This is a Broken Spire weapon. It does damage to whatever enemy you wish. Boosted by Broken Spire allies, it's going to create a mix of 6 red and brown gems for each Broken Spire ally, which is perfect with Magma Dragon because we've got that Lava Storm at the start of every single turn. Lava Storm is brown and red, so brown and red, brown and red, brown and red, and transform red to brown. So you're going to have plenty of brown, plenty of red. It's not going to destroy it is just transforming it, but, you know, and you can always put in a second Igneous. Now, I do recommend using Warlord class with this because this is going to be boosted by Broken Spire allies, and if you want to be from Broken Spire, you have to use Warlord class. Up to you, but also Warlord has Fireblade, so it's not as good as Slayer, but it's almost as good as Slayer, in my opinion. I'm sure there are plenty of people that disagree with me on that. Yeah, I did not get a mana surge and I wanted one. Alright, fine. Be that way. I'm gonna go ahead and you always want to target Zuul'Goth first if you can because he's dangerous. He is dangerous. He will kill you, so there's no getting around that. Alright, let me see. What's my next team? Okay, this is for the later levels. It's a different take. We're using skulls on this one. And we're running with Igneous at the front. So here's what we're planning. Igneous is at the front to take out Zuul'Goth with skulls. Or, you know, if you can one-shot him with Igneous, that's great too. But you pull Zuul'Goth to the front with Rope Dart. He'll be dangerous because he can't be entangled, but you take him out with skulls, and he's gone. I mean, that 3 to 5 times damage with skulls and with spells. So, as long as you have him traded. And then we've got Pyggra for mana gen. Don't want to use Ogress here because she's going to pull herself to the front, and that would mean Igneous wouldn't be at the front, which is kind of defeating the purpose. But this is going to eliminate all of the armor, do damage, pull them to the front, kill them with Igneous, and Pyggra is there to create those wonderful skulls. So, this is skull spamming edition, which is dangerous because those skulls can get away from you, but skulls are fun to use. Now I should target the Valraven first because I don't want to lose it, but yes, thank you. I do want that, and then we'll take this. It's doubly dangerous to pull Zuul'Goth to the front before you're ready because then he's going to get every bit of mana. He takes all colors, so every bit of mana that they take is going to doggone it, my mouse isn't working, sorry. Every bit of mana is going to go towards Zuul'Goth's spell, and of course that's very dangerous. Now, I've just realized because Igneous takes away all of the red gems, he's not going to work with Pyggra. So I'm going to remove this team from the description because it's really not going to work. Which I forgot. I forgot that he transforms. So I would just delete this part of the video, but I don't know how to edit my videos yet because I haven't learned yet. Anyway, I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to go remove that before I forget. Hold on. Alright, I changed it. Now it's Magma Dragon. Let's try that instead. Now, if you don't have Magma Dragon, just put a second Igneous on the team, I would say. But, you know, for the early levels, Magma Dragon is going to be fantastic. Or you can put Terraxis on here, and there are so many options, so many ways that you can go about doing this. So, I need... Okay, we'll just do that. Alright, we'll do this. I'm going to go ahead and hit Zuul'Goth. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and hit him because he's dangerous. And then you can use this to strip armor. Or just insta-kill, you know, if you're earlier in the levels. Magma Dragon. Love my Magma Dragon. Alright. Next up. Got three more teams for you folks. 3 more ways to go about this this raid boss. I don't know which one I'm going to use just yet. I like the one with Whump. That's kind of fun. But later on, you're really going to want to have a weapon that strips armor. I really like Earth's Fury and Trickster Shot are my favorites, but Earth's Fury can be replaced with Mang. If you don't have Earth's Fury, Mang is free and you have to craft Earth's Fury. The difference is Mang will give your hero a ton of armor. I'm sorry, attack. Earth Fury will give your whole team attack, but not as much. Um, but we've got Ogress at the front. She's got that 50% skull damage reduction. You could start her anywhere you want. She will move herself up to the front either way. So anyway, let's take this in, see how it works. Later on, you're going to want to target Zuul'Goth with your armor stripping weapon first, whichever armor stripping weapon you decide to use, and then cast Igneous. This is for once you can no longer one-shot with Igneous, that's when you want to start doing it. So you want to hit it with this first. See the higher level you get, the more this is going to boost. Then you hit it with Igneous. I could do this again, but I'm just going to cast Magma. I didn't want to do that. I just removed a bunch of boost from here, but I didn't want them to have the stuff. So we'll just do this to get rid of him. And then we'll go ahead and use that to get rid of the last guy. All right, one more without mythics. This is one more with legendaries. Of course I'm using Magma Dragon because Magma Dragon is my favorite. He's one of my favorite legendaries and one of my favorite underworld troops. This time we're going with Pyggra for mana gen. Igneous, of course, is going to transform those gems, and Trickster Shot. I love this weapon, and again, it scales with the enemy. The more armor you remove, the more magic you're going to get, and the harder and harder Trickster Shot is going to hit. Having Trickster Shot at the front, not necessarily a good idea. You might want to put Igneous at the front for that 50% mana skull reduction, but I specifically put the hero at the front because I'm using Slayer class on this team because it's going to rock with that burn. I've got all of the great things that go along with Slayer. We've got become enraged when an enemy dies. That enrage is going to make you hit much harder with your skulls. Then we've got become enraged also on 4+ gem matches, and then we've got triple skull damage to burning enemies. I have my Slayer class maxed out, so I have that available to me, and I'm gonna try it out. I don't have rock solid, so I have no protection from skulls, but you know, I wanted to try it and just give you guys another option. So I'm only removing 45 armor from Zuul'Goth down here. Right now this is 52. Just removing, I'm sorry, it was the armor I removed, not the attack, but anyway, this boosted up to 75. Pyggra's a good mana generator, I gotta say. We're gonna go ahead and take out Zuul'Goth, then we'll worry about these other guys. Neat. I could have just cast with this first, but no, we'll just do this. And take them out. And of course you can use 2 Igneous with that later on. Just take out the Magma Dragon, I would say. Lastly, we have one here with a Mythic. I did not choose Amarok because Amarok, I mean, sure, you can get a ton of red on the board. You can devour every turn, but for one thing, you've got Igneous that's going to take away all of the red if you cast it. And also, you can't devour Zuul'Goth. So, last team is using Infernus for the burn. He's also going to get us some mana generation because he's going to explode some gems. We've got the new weapon, the Fire God's Heart, to explode a bunch of red on the board. And to do, you know, the summons and all that. I have this set at Slayer right now, but using Warlord class is definitely something you could do instead, because by using Warlord class, you will get the benefit of the random status effect, which will help protect your troop, possibly, because it might put barrier on it. It could be submerged. There's all kinds of different things different status effects that can help you out. Using Slayer means that you lose that status effect for your hero, so if you want that, use Warlord class. So this is for later on. This isn't for the early levels where you want to get through them quickly. This is for when Zuul'Goth gets to be a problem and you can't one-shot him anymore. Again, you can use a armor stripping weapon here, but then the only mana gen you'll have is from Infernus. And Infernus is double mana block. You'll only get the red mana. So, looks like I didn't start off with the Firestorm. Might want to check your talents before you use this team. So, we're going to go ahead and blow things up. Not a lot of red on the board because I forgot to set the storm. We're going to go ahead, hit Zuul'Goth. I'm still one-shotting him at this point, which is totally fine. We'll go ahead and do a little splash damage and kill them. It's not bad. Kill all the things. Anyway, that's what I have for you folks. I hope that you'll at least find inspiration from these teams that I have presented to you. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye!